For today's video, we will be playing a bit of a Magachiyo here. Magachiyo is one of the two forest decks that you, well, three actually forest decks that you can play right now on the ladder with some success. And it's been around for quite a while, and I've always thought it was an interesting deck, but I've never been good at playing it, so I've never really made a video on it. But I figured might as well do that now since it's gonna rotate out next expansion. So today we'll be playing a bit of Magachiyo. I'm still not that good at the deck, but yeah. Also, there's like construction going on outside right now, so if you hear some construction noises, don't mind it. Hopefully it should be fine. This is the list that I've been playing now. Like I'm playing right now. This is the list that I'm playing. It's obviously not perfect in any way or anything. You can definitely make additions. Yeah, but I'm running the the Asphalt one off just to draw condemned cards. And then the Michelle here is a bit of a weird pick, I guess, but it may be a bit more popular nowadays just because it's your anti-fusion shadow tech. I guess you can use this to decrease the attack of the adjudicator to 0, or you can use this to have a card play that doesn't let your opponent trade because it has 0 attack, so they can't trade Helio into this either. And then I'm running the Babs. Babs' main job here is you play her on turn 6 to lower your opponent's max HP to 18, and then when at 18 Magachiyo, and because a lot of your damage is multiple, a lot of your Magachiyo's damage is multiples of 3, right? Magachiyo is worth 6, Warden is worth 6, and the Budding Initiate is worth 3. So by lowering their max HP to 18, you're making it much easier to find lethals through your multiples of 3, since 18 is also a multiple of 3. So that's the list that I've been playing. The first few games will not be with this list, it'll be with a different list that I was trying out, but right now this is the list that I've been playing, so I'm showing the current list. So yeah, let's jump right into the games. Our first game will be a game against Dragon, and we are going second here. So against Dragon, it's usually ramp. It could be buff as well. It really could go either way. Early on, I just like to keep the card draw. I kept Nature's Guidance here just because it usually helps in getting your 4 plays on your key turn, which is turn 4. And it also draws cards, so that should hopefully be helpful. Honestly, I could go either way on keeping Nature's Guidance here. It may be better to just like look for stuff like Warden of Recurrence, because it's such a key card for finding lethals. Or maybe find your Budding Stewardess instead of keeping Nature's Guidance, but oh well. Maybe people who have more experience can explain there. So this list, the list I was playing at this time only runs Warden of Recurrence as neutral followers, so lane only draws Warden of Recurrence, which is why I bounced it and played it again, so I can start gathering those in my hand and start decreasing their cost, so that I can look for a lethal on turn 7. Now I should probably mention, I had the opportunity to go for some kind of weird winged inversion play there probably, but with a hand like this, and it wouldn't have drawn me that many cards, I would probably be unable to play 4 turns this turn anyway, so I chose not to go for some try to force it with winged inversion. It's against ramp anyway. I don't really think I have to try and rush my way to a lethal. Unfortunately, my hand's not much better here, so I end up having to use winged inversion here, bounce that, and that's my 4 cards played for this turn. And then here comes the Irma, so they are just ramping as Ramp Dragon does. We are trying to find Magachiyo and Budding. I can't remember the name of the card, but you know the one I'm talking about. Budding Initiate, yes, that's the name. Don't really need Michelle for anything particular in this matchup, so I'm okay to play it now just the cycle. We should save Lily for a bit later on when we are more scared of things like Relic Dragon coming at us. No reason to evolve here, so we just don't evolve, just save the evil point. And then here they have the Goddess of Compassion increasing their max HP, which can be a bit annoying for us, of course, since we are an OTK combo deck, which doesn't do well with this kind of play. This release also ran Gale Pierce as a bit of extra damage. I don't think it comes out in this game. So we're gonna use the the Lethal Sting here to reach 4 cards played this turn. If we look at where we're at now at 2, with this turn we'll be at 4. because we have 3 Wardens anyway, 3 Wardens is already worth 18, with Magachiyo it'll be 24 total damage. So we don't particularly need the lethal thing to decrease the max HP too much. What we need right now is just to find Magachiyo and we should have lethal. We're already set up with number of cards played, number of turns with at least 4 cards played. We're already set up there, so we just have to find Magachiyo. We pick up the Budding Initiate here, which is very nice. We can hopefully find Magachiyo with that. Go ahead and put down the Plumeria here just to get 2 cards played, so when you play Budding Initiate you'll actually draw a card. I believe here it actually just draws, yeah, it actually just draws Magachiyo here, so I have lethal, but obviously if I didn't draw Magachiyo there, it's actually no, it's not. Is it? It's not guaranteed lethal, because if I play Magachiyo, if I play Budding Initiate and then Budding Initiate and then Budding Initiate and then Magachiyo, I don't have any more space to play the Wardens. Either this Budding Initiate or the second one has to join Magachiyo to have lethal there, but it doesn't matter because even if I didn't have lethal, I could have just bounced this Budding Initiate with Gale Pierce and then put down Lily to stall for a turn. It's very unlikely they would be able to kill me through Lily, so... But we have lethal here, so we just go for lethal here with the Magachiyo, the triple Warden. I was running the case crack, but in this case we didn't really need the case crack. It would have been useful, I guess, if they had like a war in the way, but they have to deal with that this time, so go ahead and put on the 3 Wardens, and this is a very nice lethal against them here with Magachiyo. And that will be it for this game, so let's move on to the next game. So for this game we will be playing against Shadow. We're going first again. I don't think this deck has that many problems with going first or second. There's benefits either way. For the mulligan again, I believe I keep Stewardess here, yeah. It's just kept for drop, but honestly I feel like keeping Stewardess is not correct, so you should probably just not keep it if you're playing this deck. Unless you have like 2 other 1-cost cards in your hand or something weird like that. Anyway, yeah, so we're just doing the usual early game stuff. Early lane, and later on you'll see Asuka and Shiori as well are good cards to keep in the mulligan, because in the early game before turn 4 you have nothing really to do, so you should... These are lane and Asuka and Shiori are cards you can play early on just to draw, as well. You can play early on just to draw, so those are the cards I would recommend keeping. Warden of Recurrence is probably okay to keep as well, like 1 copy, just because you need it for lethal and it's the hardest piece to find. Getting Warden out of your deck will also make it easier for Budding Initiate to draw Magachiyo later on. So yeah, I'm just going for 4 plays this turn. This is still the list with guaranteed a Warden of the lane, so yeah. Fortunately our hand's not looking too good, so hopefully they don't clear our board here, because when you trade in the sapling to draw if they don't clear our board, which they don't, which is fortunate for us. As you can see they are fusing their cards. Actually I should probably check if they're destroyed cards, right? This is a good thing to do against this deck. They've already sunk Helio and they've sunk the Grave Adjudicator, so we can expect that to come out at some point. And then we go ahead and draw with the sapling. And then now we just need to try Magachiyo, right? So that's what we're gonna try to do. I believe I end up, yeah, overdraw the Mei here, which is a key technique I think that you should probably learn how to do. Because sometimes if you invoke Mei when you invoke Mei, she might fill up the hand, then you might mill your Magachiyo. So in this case, we mill the Mei and then play the Mei here, so that we can avoid milling a card next turn when we top deck. And also we don't spend an Evil Punch obviously, because we're an OTK deck, so we don't really need to push damage. Our Evil Punch should be saved for dealing damage and also denying them things like Asuka and Shiori. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Here comes the Helio here. We left 2 bodies on board only, so even if they had Gilgamesh that, they wouldn't have been able to OTK me. So here is their double Adjudicator, which is very scary. Educators get stronger when they destroy their own followers, so we don't want to give them the opportunity to do that. So here I top deck the Babs, right? I top decked it, right? So I play it just to decrease the max HP draws, and mostly just to get the 4 cards play with minimal effort, and then I intentionally trade into the Educator here just to leave these followers alive, so hopefully they don't get to buff these too much. They only have 1 board space to work with, which importantly denies them followers that have Burial Right. There's the Gilgamesh, I guess they don't need it anymore, which makes sense. Took a bunch of damage here. Unfortunately, they did have Night Terrors, which I was hoping they wouldn't, so they were able to destroy their follower here, and then they have a Burial Right here. I'm dead to Spectral Stomp here, or Night Terrors. Unfortunately, they didn't have it, so we barely survived it. But we're not out of the woods yet, because no, we have guaranteed lethal here because we have 2 Budding Initiates left and all 3 Wardens are in our hands. So in our deck, the only condemned followers that Budding Initiate can draw is a Budding Initiate 1 copy and Magachiyo 1 copy. So playing both of these Budding Initiates will be enough to get me lethal. So first thing we need to do is play 2 cards so Budding Initiate can draw. I just used the Fauna Handler there just so that I minimize taking up board space. We pick up Magachiyo first try, so we have easy lethal here. In this specific list that ran Plumeria with the very fun fact allows you to get more damage out of here as well. This is honestly a pretty interesting list. It's not mine, I just net decked it from somewhere, but it's an interesting list because it runs a lot of extra damage outside of Magachiyo pieces to help you reach lethal easier. So yeah, that's it for this game. Let's move on to the next game. For our last game, we were playing the Mirror and when going first. Going first is favored in the Mirror just because you can reach 4 cards played on 4 turns faster. The first one, you can reach turn 7 faster than them. You just gotta watch out for any possible winged inversion shenanigans for playing 3 cards on turn. 3, but here I kept Asuka and Shiori, and the lane here is also good for the early game. So we put on the lane here, and then we can play Asuka and Shiori here. They don't really contribute well to your 4 cards played per turn, so you could play them early when you can. Asuka and Shiori is better going second, of course, for be able to be played for 1 TP, but when going first, you will have to play her for 3. I intentionally didn't trade into their lane here just because I wanted to leave it alive as long as possible, because that would limit the amount of board space they had to work with their plays. Obviously, it's not like that much of a nuisance for them probably, but better to do it than not do it, I think. And then here, unfortunately, my alternative plays were so bad that I just end up going for the budding and then bounce with Nature's Guidance here. I'm praying that I don't mill my Magachiyo off the top of my deck, but actually for situations like this makes me consider running Iris in this deck as well, because Iris is it's essentially 3 costs for 3 cards played, and you can also use her to fuse as well to control your hand size, and she also draws, so I think it might be worth considering running Iris in the future. But I didn't run her at the time, so we have to deal with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and sink 1 of my initiates just because I don't really have any better plays to make, because my hand's not super good here. And go ahead and bounce the initiate here. And then I think I'm gonna mill another top deck here, which is pretty annoying for me. 2 lanes of yeah, I don't mill the Magachiyo fortunately, and 2 lanes is prime opportunity to board lock them, so I think I do try to do that. Pick up the Magachiyo here, so I don't really have to worry about milling her. Here I played the Case Crack obviously because Magachiyo doesn't actually play any wards, so there's no point in keeping the Case Crack for anything, so we don't feel any problems with just using it. So here they are stuck with the 2 lanes on the board, which hopefully will prevent them from playing 4 cards per turn. It's not like guaranteed, obviously. And then they have Lily. Lily is the prime Magachiyo counter, of course, with Storm. And then we saw them bounce Lily, so we know we have Lily in hand. So we are at an issue here. We have an issue here where they can just keep playing Lily against us, and we will never be able to kill them. We noticed that we have 3 Wardens in hand and then Magachiyo, right? So this is normally would be 24 damage, it's down to 16. Budding Initiate is worth 1 damage, so we have a total of 70 damage in hand, which is obviously not enough to finish them off at 19. So instead of just surviving this turn and then waiting for next turn, because next turn they're gonna play Lily anyways, we're gonna have the same problem with not having enough damage. So my plan here, if you see here, is to go for Babs, pick up the Lethal Sting, and then we use a Winged Inversion here, and then Lily. The Winged Inversion there is actually just to get a card out of hand. There's no like reason that I had to do that. So with this move, we now have 2 Lethal Stings in our hand. And then when we play them next turn, we'll decrease their max HP by 2, and then by dropping them down to 16, they'll be within our lethal range. So that is my plan. And also we played the Lily to prevent them from hitting us with a counter Magachiyo lethal, of course. And here they go ahead and clear our board, probably to not leave us damage, to minimize the so we have more reliant on storm damage. But fortunately for us, we planned for this, so there is Lethal Sting 1, Lethal Sting 2, and they're down to 16, which means that Magachiyo with 3 Wardens was now lethal. So yeah, it's a bit of a nice showcase of navigating around Lily, I think. So yeah, that's it for this game, and I think I have no more games for you, so that's probably it for the video. So we're gonna go ahead and, while we watch me beat my opponent to death with a bunch of Wardens, yeah, we can move on to some closing thoughts to end the video off. So yeah, here we go. That's all the games I have for you today. I hope they were enjoyable and gave you some idea of how the deck plays and how to go about playing the deck if you're interested in playing the deck yourself. This deck is a little bit difficult. I don't think it's like the hardest deck in the meta right now, which is insane because this deck is a pretty difficult deck to play. There are just so many difficult decks this expansion, which is part of the fun, right, of this expansion. There's so many decks that I feel rewarding to learn. This deck is really, the main issue with this deck I feel is not issue, more like skill issue, right? The main issue I have when I'm playing this deck is hand management, because sometimes you just run out of hand cards and you're unable to play 4 cards per turn, which is not good for you. And then sometimes you you have too many hand cards and you start milling your cards, which is also not good for you. So you have to find that sweet spot. I think it might be worth to start slotting in more hand management cards like Iris in this deck if you're interested in playing this deck yourself. Honestly, I'm pretty bad with Magachiyo. I'm not good at like pure combo decks, so I'm not sure how much more I'll be playing this deck, but yeah, I think it's pretty solid now. It's not the worst matchup against Fusion Shadow, although it's not the best ever. You have Lily to deal with their Gilgamesh, and then Michelle, if you want to run her, helps you deal with the Adjudicator a bit. You just gotta watch out for mainly the Curse King actually, and Abyssal Colonel, which you can hopefully deal with by drawing your 1 copy of Case Crack or just spamming Winged Inversion. So yeah, decent spot in the meta. I think Magachiyo might be a bit better than Castal right now, just because Castal is so miserable into Fusion Shadow. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in playing the deck, you can go ahead and pick it up. I definitely recommend it. It's a pretty difficult deck, but pretty rewarding to play. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.